I'm Sam Remedios from Sam and Luke, and we're from Vancouver, Canada.
Why did you feel the need to move to Nashville to further your musical career?
We started doing music up in Vancouver, Canada, and that's where we discovered it. And while we were up there, we realized that this is something that we have to do for the rest of our lives. And not only that, we wanted to pursue it as a career. We wanted we wanted to do music full time. And after doing some self-booked tours across the states from LA to Nashville, and also making a record down in Nashville while we were living in Canada, we realized that the only place for us as songwriters was Nashville. There's no other city in all of the world. There's no other city in the world other than Nashville that's just such a great hub for music and songwriting, and it's just we knew that that's where we needed to be.
Tell me about some of the stuff you left behind or what you sacrificed when you left your home to come here. What did you leave behind in Vancouver?
We left a lot behind to come to Nashville. We sacrificed a lot. Um, I personally dropped out of college to come pursue music, and um, unlike what unlike the usual thing, my parents were actually very supportive of it. They saw how much fun I was having with music and how much I really loved it and I wanted to pursue it. And they said, "You know what, son? I think you should drop out of college and pursue music." And that's really not very normal, for parents to be so supportive that they say, "Forget education for now." They said, if you, they said, if for some reason you realize that you don't want to do music, you can always go back to school. But right now, this is the time for you to do your dreams, pursue your dreams. Right now is the time for you to pursue your dreams. And, of course, I was like, yes, that's what we want to do. We wanted to do music. So I left behind. I sacrificed going to college and an education and a normal job. I had a lot of friends up in Canada that I had to leave. Um, at the time, I had a girlfriend. Had to break up with her. That kind of thing. And I just we kind of left behind a normal life completely. We just took the normal standard life of go to school, get a job, hang out with your friends, and all of that, and we said, we can't do that. We set it aside, and we dropped everything, and we moved to Nashville to do music full time.
What was the first thing you guys did when you got to Nashville to help further your career? When you first got here, what was the first thing you guys decided you needed to do?
The first thing we did when we came to Nashville was play as many open mics and songwriter rounds as we could. We just wanted to perform and play the songs we wrote and have a good time. And we weren't really thinking about, what can we do to further our career? And in hindsight, maybe that wasn't the best use of time, but at the same time, maybe it was, because we wouldn't be where we are now without what we did in the past. And playing the open mics and the songwriter rounds in the very beginning was a very warm experience coming here, because everybody was a songwriter, everybody was a singer, and we kind of felt at home right away. And it's just kind of like we love playing music and they love playing music, and we love writing songs and they love writing songs, and we just felt like we were part of a community right away.
Did you guys have an actual plan when you got to Nashville, or did you just kind of winging it?
We actually did not have a plan when we came to Nashville. We knew a couple of names. A couple years prior, we made a record with Colin Linden, who's a Juno Award-winning producer, and also I think Grammy-nominated producer. And a couple of the players he had on the record, the old record we made, were also producers and stuff. So we had a couple contacts. And one of the guys we knew was the drummer on that record and also a great producer, Tom Hambridge, who's Buddy Guy's producer, and he won a Grammy last year for doing Buddy Guy's record. And we came to Nashville and we said, we know Tom. Maybe we can give him a call and he can do a record for us. Kind of naive thinking, because we didn't really understand kind of what a big deal he was. So we moved without having a plan. Maybe we were thinking, maybe we can maybe call Tom up and see what he thinks, and well, we did it. And he said, yeah, we'll make a record. So it's really cool that happened. It just kind of fell into place. I think we should have had more of a plan than that, but we didn't.
How does the music scene in Nashville compare to the music scene in Vancouver?
The music scene in Nashville is completely different from the one in Vancouver. It's completely different. Um, it's not to say that it's strictly better, because Vancouver does have its own music scene, and I don't want to take anything away from it. But whenever anybody asks me about the music scene in Nashville, the first thing I say is there anywhere else in the world you can go and walk down the street in the middle of the afternoon on a Tuesday and have all the clubs packed with music and everybody listening to music? Not really. Nashville is so special in that way. In Vancouver, we could play shows every once in a while, but there wasn't too much of a songwriting scene. It was a lot of blues and a lot of like indie rock music. And it's great, but when you come to Nashville, it's everything. It's not just country music. There's rock, and there's like blues, and there's jazz, and there's folk, and there's just everything here. And Nashville is a really, really warm songwriting community. Really, you feel like you can talk to anybody about anything music related, and they've been there. Everybody in Nashville is their own story, and they've either been here for many years and they have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge and a lot to tell, and so there's a lot to learn from. Or people are just like you and they came from somewhere else because they want to pursue their dream, and you can just talk to them and share, what's your experience been so far and all of that. And that kind of warmth and community in the music scene is something I think that's really unique to Nashville.
It is. Well, tell me about good things and bad things, pros and cons about living in Nashville. What's some good things and what's some bad things about living here?
Well, the good things about living here, I can tell, is there's a lot of places to play, and it's great. And the community is great. There's a lot of people to talk to, a lot of people to learn from. I feel like as a songwriter and a musician, just being here, I feel like I've improved. I feel like I'm just, getting a little bit closer to where I want to be every day, that I hear anybody else and I say, oh, that inspires me, or oh, I want to be like them, I want to write songs like them, I want to play like them, I want to sing like them. And that, and also I think there's a lot of opportunity here for songwriters. I feel like there's a place to go. Other places I've been, I don't know if you're in music, there's as many places to go, but Nashville is definitely one where you can shoot for the stars and you can also get there. The cons of living in Nashville, well, honestly, a lot of the shows don't pay very much, so that's one thing. But, we're getting by. I think it's a good sign if I can't think of very many cons for Nashville.
All right. Besides Nashville being a mecca for music and stuff, what have you guys seen since you've been to Nashville that's not music related that you really think is cool about Nashville?
One of the non-music things that I think is really cool about Nashville, honestly, is the scenery and the architecture of the houses, which I think is kind of like weird, but I feel like I can go for a drive anywhere and I just look at the trees and the way it looks and I feel at peace. It's just something really nice about, seeing that much nature and everywhere. And the southern architecture is also very different for us. After coming, from Vancouver, Vancouver's a very tight city. It's big and it's tight and it's packed together. And Nashville's spacious, and it actually, the first time we came here, we just came for a visit, and immediately we felt like we were at home. And everybody we've talked to who has come to visit feels the same way. They say, I feel like I live here already, and they've been here for 2 days, and we felt that way as soon as we came here. We're just like, it feels like home, and I don't really know what it is. It's kind of magical about it, and I think that's the thing that sticks out the most about Nashville to me.
What would you tell other people who are thinking about moving to Nashville to be a songwriter? What advice would you give for someone who's thinking about coming here?
If somebody else wanted to come to Nashville, let me think about this for a second. If I could give some advice to a songwriter who wanted to move to Nashville, I would say do it. I really think that if you want to move to Nashville and be a songwriter, that first you should just do it because it's the right thing to do. There's no other city to go to. And second, just play everywhere. Play everywhere and write with people and talk to people and get to know everybody because it's a networking thing. And just be friends with everybody. Write songs with people. And it's a very social thing. Music is very social in Nashville, and I really like it. I think that that's how music should be. It should be you share with people and you be with people. It shouldn't be like a secluded work on your own kind of thing. You should share it with people and talk to people and just get to know everybody and be friends with people. That's what I would say.
Are you happy you moved here?
I am absolutely happy that I moved here. I actually can't think of anywhere else I would want to be. Period. Just in the world. I want to see the world. I want to travel and see the world. But I want to live in Nashville and I want to make music here. There's no other place for it. If you were to say, where else do you want to live? I actually can't think of anything else. I just think I want to be in Nashville all the time.
Good deal. Do you have any regrets about moving to Nashville?
I honestly don't have any regrets about moving to Nashville. Sometimes I think, what would it be like to have a normal life and go to school and have a job? But then I think, I don't really think I could live not doing music the way that I am now. Just playing and singing songs, and I can't imagine how my life would be if I hadn't moved here. It's become such a important part of who I am and who I've become having come here, and I feel like I've grown a lot. Actually, not even just as a musician, but as a person, from being here and talking to people, and just feeling the warmth of the community. I have no regrets about coming to Nashville.
Let's talk about some of the successes you guys have had since you've been here. What's some of the successful things that's happened to you since you hit Nashville?
Well, since we hit Nashville, we've done a few things. The first thing that I can say is it was great to work with Buddy Guy's producer for a record. That was fantastic. That's just crazy. It still blows my mind to think about it because it's like I can't believe it because we grew up listening to Buddy Guy. Of course, he's a legend, and to be that close is fantastic. So that was really cool. And we've written a lot of songs, and we've come a far way from where we were before, and we could not have done that without coming here. And we played a lot of shows. The first year that we were here, we played over 150 shows easily, and it feels good to say that, because that's just really what we love to do, is play and play out and have an audience in front of us. And through being here, we also got the opportunity to go audition for The Voice, which was pretty cool.
Let's talk about the songwriter community. It's one of the bigger things that everybody loves about Nashville. Tell me about your impressions of the songwriter community and kind of sort of how that works here, so people can understand when you get here that there is a community of people who are hanging together and stuff. So tell me your impressions of the songwriter community in Nashville.
The songwriting community in Nashville is kind of its own special thing. I like to think of it as, if you picture like your best friends, your circle of best friends, who you haven't seen for a while. Maybe it's been a few months. And then when you first come to see them, it's like they're really happy to see you and they want to tell you about all the things they've done. I think the songwriting community in Nashville is a lot like that. You haven't even met these people, but they are songwriters, they're musicians, and they have a lot of experiences similar to you. And it's really, really great. It's a lot about, knowing other people, too. You come here and you meet someone, you make a friend right away, who, you like their song, you heard them, and you're like, I like the way they write. And you come talk to them afterwards, and they like you too, like, thank you very much, I'm glad you liked it. And you become friends. And, you start writing songs together because you like the person and you like how they write, and you're like, I wanna make some music with this person. And you're friends, and it's great, and you do some songwriter rounds together. You get up on stage together and you sing, songs. And then through that, maybe the next person right next to you likes how you play your songs, and they come up to you and the thing repeats, and slowly your circle just expands, and you know more people, and um, it's a very organic thing, the way it grows. Um, so I love the songwriting community here. It's very friendly. It's very natural how it evolves, and all of a sudden, you know this person who knows this person who knows this person, and this person over here is looking for a song, and they want a song, and this guy tells this guy tells this guy, and they say, I want to use your song for this movie, and all of a sudden you have a song in a movie, and it works so naturally. It's kind of crazy.
If you had to do this all over again, would you still move to Nashville after you've been here for a while?
If I had to do this all over again, I would definitely do everything exactly the same way that I did it. I think that's not to say that I could have done some things better, but I definitely would have dropped everything. I definitely would have dropped everything and moved to Nashville. I definitely would have played as many shows as I could and written songs and co-written with people and just been a part of the community. I would definitely have moved to Nashville again. Every people would ask. Let me think. No, yeah, no. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely move to Nashville. I can't see myself moving anywhere else or living any other kind of life than having moved here and just doing music as much as I can.
So, what's the best and coolest thing about being a songwriter?
The best and coolest thing about being a songwriter is, and this might be kind of cheesy, but it's just getting your feelings out. That's what it is. It's saying something and finding the words that really describe not only how you feel, but maybe how the person listening feels too, and they can't find the words to say it. And if you play a song that connects with even just one person, and they tell you about it afterwards, just like, that's exactly how I've been feeling. They come up to you and they say, that's exactly how I've been feeling. You say the words that I wanted to say. There's no better feeling than that. And I don't think you can get a feeling like that from anything else than songwriting.
Was there anything that you would like to say to an aspiring songwriter who wants to move to Nashville that we didn't cover? Got any piece of advice for an inspiring songwriter?
If I had any advice for if I have any advice for an aspiring songwriter who wants to come move to Nashville, honestly, what I would say is just keep writing songs, because it's going to be different for everybody. And the only thing that is absolutely true that you absolutely have to do is just write, no matter what. Always write. No matter how you feel or what you've been doing, just write and get it out there. I think that's the only way.